Hello and welcome to this Warcraft replay, Game 3 of this WCA Group A Qualifiers. We are on Tara's perspective. Not anymore. Alright, blue versus light blue. Tara's winning in as the blue undead in the top left, and XiaoKai once again into the light blue undead on the map, Ancient Isles. I think. Yep, Ancient Isles. Honestly, there's not that many maps in the map circuit these days anyway, so I don't know why I got confused there. Yep. What's interesting is, like, I occasionally watch other people play, not play, cast Warcraft, and yeah, back to Warcraft. I think it was Remo, but, like, I think it was Remo and yours. They were discussing what kind of color this was. I just call it light blue. They called it like teal or gray. It was very, very entertaining. Yeah, that I'm just going off topic here because the opening is very, very monotonous, I guess. We do have a graveyard first for XiaoKai though. I guess it was good of me not to speed this up. I'm gonna speed it up anyway. I'm actually getting a little sheepish here, sadly. Yeah, the opening minutes are not that great, and I don't actually have a drink to keep me awake for this anyway. So, Death Knight first. And Grip Fiend first. So, 2 ghouls, Grip Fiend. Very standard Grip Fiend rush kind of build here. It's not really a Grip Fiend rush because you're not really rushing your opponent with Grip Fiends, you're just taking advantage of heavy farming, I guess you could call it. I don't think XiaoKai will go like super rush Grip Fiends. It's not like you can really rush Grip Fiends anyway. If you want to rush, why didn't you go ghouls or something like that? So yeah, this is going to be really bad, I think, for XiaoKai's part. Maybe. Because he has to deal with all this skeleton nonsense here. Ghouls are being brought over. Grip Fiend is going to try and lend a couple of its Nerubian projectiles over to the skeletons here. Tara being very cheeky, using XiaoKai's own graveyard to supply his skeleton corpse party here. We're gonna have Nerubian Tower finished, but we could have an Acolyte taken out. Nope, doesn't seem like it. Tower was just not quick enough. Like, being able to take down one of those Acolytes was good enough in itself. But yeah, he pretty much just got the bare minimum. He did lose 4 skeletons. He is going to send in the attack once again. Yeah, and then get constantly reminded, Nerubian Tower is there. There's not much you can do. So, I don't know what he was trying to accomplish there. He's even going to be forced to TP scroll out because I guess even the Death Knight was confused by the number of commands that Tara gave him. That was weird. And I will say that Tara is ahead because he is like halfway or 50% ahead of XiaoKai in this instance, because Tara did go for a very, what was it, unharassed opening. Actually, he was the one harassing, so that's very good. Once again, another game where, you know, these players show me why skeleton harassment, why they do it. But I understand in like undead mirrors, I just don't understand in every other matchup, because even if, let's say human, because that's pretty much the most common matchup for an undead, which is undead human. Yeah, peasants are scary. They can turn into militia and be very aggressive. And Arcane Towers just do way more than Nerubian Towers anyway. What else? Orc. well, they can just go into Orc Burrows. Wisps are protected no matter what because of entanglement, so yeah. Undead mirrors, I can see skeleton harassment working a lot easier. Now, Tara is not rich enough to buy another TP scroll, so getting surrounded would be ill-fated for him. I don't think he was able to pick one up anyway because he's still tier 1. Actually, no, he's tier 2. What am I saying? He can pick up a TP scroll if he wants, but yeah, he'd rather keep that bit of resources for the tier 3 jump that he should go very soon. Now, there we go. Tier 3. His opponent will finish tier 2. It's always nice to have tier 3 started while your opponent's still trying to deal with tier 2. Slaughterhouse has begun construction for Tara as well. XiaoKai once again, third game in a row, stealing creep camps from his opponent's side. Not going to be answered at all, and he is going to run away. Yep. Fairly happy. Level 1 versus... not level 1. Level 2 versus level 2. Sentry wards for this Death Knight, so at least Tara will be able to have some vision going on. I don't think he can... well, he can cover all bases, but it's not that great of a warning system, really, if you place it here and there, because it doesn't actually inform you quick enough so you can actually react unless you have a TP scroll, which definitely want to avoid using if you have those sentry wards. XiaoKai still being aggressive by the looks of it. Oh yeah, definitely should have placed that ward, because now we have harassment from XiaoKai. Does seem like he will be able to force a cancel onto the Ziggurat. Lich starting to pop out here. Alright, Tara's back with his Death Knight. Let's see what he can do to fend this off. He is a Crypt Fiend down, but his Lich is going to come and reinforce him anyway, so yeah, it wasn't really a difficult decision to make. Lich already out for XiaoKai. Like, wow, even though he had a delayed tier 2, he still got his Lich before Slaughterhouse. So the Lich is going to have prioritized experience, invisibility potion onto this Death Knight, which is very curious. He is going to be spotted though. What I think Tara should do, if he's very, very cheeky, is just pretend walk, you know, past the Death Knight and then just surround his ass. Because that, even though it's most likely never going to happen, it's very funny. So the item was picked up by Tara. That's nicely done there. Although the Pro Berserker was picked up by XiaoKai. I think that's kind of favorable for Tara anyway, because he was able to get the health stone. Yeah, it's basically the same story that I talked about with the Greater Healing Potion last game. I mean, the health stone is basically a Greater Healing Potion, but better because it provides you with health regen. It heals for the same amount, and it gives health regen. What better item would you have? Maybe a rejuvenation potion. Not rejuvenation potion, replenishment potion, but you know, you can't have everything. Statues for both players, no upgrades just yet. Of course, it's not really at the upgrading stage, so that would be silly. Dark Ranger out for XiaoKai. He's beginning his Dark Ranger, you know, first, a lot quicker than Tara does. But surprisingly, Tara gets his A-bomb out a lot quicker than XiaoKai does. So, but these tendencies are very vivid. Probably shouldn't be starting that creep camp since Tara is nearby. The Null Overseer will be killed off. I believe that was Tara picking it up with the Nova Coil combo. Of course, Frost Nova is way better than Death Coil because it doesn't have a travel time. So, yeah, even though Tara did send out a Death Coil himself, the Lich pretty much stole it from his ally Death Knight. +1 attack upgrades for the Crypt Fiends and Destroyers. XiaoKai once again is the first one to have Destroyers. Is also the first one to have a Shade popping up here. It looks like it's just going to be the repeat game last game, but just on a different map. Interestingly, Dark Ranger has an Ankh of Reincarnation. That is going to be very useful. I believe that was picked up from the Troll Warlord camp in this area here, which the Lich was able to pick up. Let's see how this will turn out to be. I think even though the Dark Ranger does get killed off very quickly, I think the item is just better on the Lich. But that's just my opinion. Shade here. I thought it was an Acolyte looking for an expansion, but I was just getting my hopes up. Is that +2 armor? That is indeed +2 armor. So, yeah, even I was talking about tendencies a couple of minutes ago. We still have tendencies coming on. XiaoKai does seem to favor armor upgrades more than attack upgrades, and Tar just like the attack upgrades. I believe he's starting to get +2. Yep, there we go. Sadly, I won't be able to write these tendencies down. Or at least I probably won't because I'm very lazy, so yep, I won't remember these tendencies maybe in the future. Oh, this is a great item. Alira's Food of Accuracy has been picked up from the Red Drake, so that's 10% additional damage to ranged units, which pretty much applies to every single undead unit except for the Death Knight and the A-Bomb. What I mean by undead units is like the standard army comp things. So A-Bomb is pretty commonly used anyway, so A-Bomb doesn't count and the Death Knight does not count. I'm not sure if you count the Ghoul as a pretty common unit. I wouldn't say common, more like essential. Like absolutely necessary, not really. Yeah, let's just stop this conversation here. So Healing Scroll is available, Invulnerability Potion is available. Dust is available, I'm not sure why, but we shall see. Red Drake is going to drop the Lion Horn of the Stormwind, or of Stormwind, not of the Stormwind. So Devotion Aura versus True Shot Aura. Let's see who will win this fight. Level 2 on the Dark Ranger for XiaoKai. Silences onto both the Lich DK combo of XiaoKai, but is going to wear off since it is only a level 1 silence there. Yes, even though Tara does have 2-0 upgrades on his Crypt Fiends, yeah, True Shot Aura should be able to kind of close that gap a little bit. Obviously you can see 28 to 43 and 26 to 31. Yeah, it's not that improved. Of course, increased attack upgrades just like very muchly increases the max range instead of the overall damage, so it's still randomized a little bit, which I do find weird. Warcraft has randomized, or not randomized, a range of damage, meanwhile StarCraft has consistent. Yep, always interesting. But let's see what will happen. The ghouls are the targets here for Tara. That's cruel. That's gonna be like a complete period without lumber. Tara doesn't have that many lumber, so he's gonna have to devote into recreating those ghouls. Tara does have an expand again. This is back to game 1 mode where, yeah, if this goes any longer, Tara will most likely win. I can't imagine him not, because he has the economic advantage, but I mean, he did lose the ghouls, which he's not replacing still. Destroyer form on the way. It's not really going to help too much. We still only have 2 statues out for Tara, so that will only lead to 2 destroyers. Meanwhile, XiaoKai already has 3, 4. Alright, will this expand mean much? Nerubian Tower is nearly done. I'm talking like the Nerubian Tower actually does something. Okay, here we go. One of those Griffians will drop immediately. I think XiaoKai should just focus on that quality gold mine. He needs to destroy it and then TP scroll out, because if that thing stays alive, you know, every second longer, it does mean every second of more gold. And Tara is actually going to unsummon the gold mine. Interesting, because you can't cancel that, but he will be able to salvage the resources for it. So XiaoKai saw that he most likely couldn't defend, so he just kind of refunded the building. Okay, it's a weirdish game. Like, not many undeads would go expand anyway, and Tara has done that twice this series. 02, I have noticed not many go for 3rd tier upgrades, but well, it does seem like XiaoKai is gonna go for it. Tara not. But then again, Tara doesn't actually have that luxury. He was forced to lose himself the haunted gold mine anyway, so I'm not really gonna blame him on that one. Okay, the obsidian statue count is immense. 4 statues already out for Tara. That is maybe going to match up with the 4 destroyers of XiaoKai, but XiaoKai does have 2 more statues, so I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Plus 03 upgrades. That could be a big player. Because look at this, 0 light armor. Meanwhile, not light armor, medium armor, while Griffians have 4. So absolutely no damage reduction, and around 20% damage reduction for the Griffians. Okay, let's see how we go. 4 versus 6 destroyers. We do have quite the number of Griffians on Tara's side, but yeah, who are we kidding? Griffians? Nah, this is a battle of destroyers here. Although XiaoKai is losing his heroes fairly quickly, able to get that last second invulnerability potion off onto the Lich, but now the Lich is kind of exposed. He needs to be on the backside. Silence onto the Dark Ranger. Now that is interesting. Silence the silencer. You would rather silence the one that actually matters. Now remember, we still have the health stone on the Death Knight, so he will be able to turn things around if he needs to, although can't really turn things around with heroes only. He needs an actual army. Destroyer's still alive for Tara, but destroyers can't actually attack destroyers, so bit of a weird situation there for XiaoKai. He is actually going to be forced to prolong this game. Interesting. He would rather preserve his Lich than attempt to finish the game off without him. Wow, that was interesting. Maybe unnecessary. I don't know. That was pretty close. Yeah, if you lose your Lich, you lose a bit of your DPS, but still look pretty good for XiaoKai. But well, this game's gonna go a little longer, sadly. I mean, I really don't like long games. 20 minutes is pretty much, you know, the average that I would accept, and we are very much nearing that. Actually, we just met that. XiaoKai is still running around with his shade. I have no idea what Tara's shade is. There it is. Okay. Dust on Tara's Death Knight. Yeah. I'm surprised the mentality is like, is not, oh, I have my shade on my opponent's army, but he probably doesn't have one on mine. I think, I don't know. Like, at least XiaoKai's being very active with his shade. I don't know what this passiveness is doing right now. Okay, there we go. XiaoKai is now on the move. I have no idea what that was. I probably the weirdest moment of this week, and this week has just started. Oh, we have an imposter here. Tara is gonna lose his shade. At least XiaoKai uses his own shade to sniff out other shades. That is gonna force Tara to, well, make another one. And gold mines have begun to deplete. Not on XiaoKai's hands because, well, we did have that Acolyte incident in the first opening minutes, so there is that. So, yeah, almost sudden death mode here. Tara, oh no, another imposter, but on the other side. But the imposter won't be killed. So Tara needs to expand. Oh, both players needs to expand. Or they'll just have to go for a sudden deathmatch. Army versus army. 73 versus 57. Yeah, Tara should expand, because he is definitely not going to win this battle. I mean, it's kind of bad that he used his last bit of gold while, or he gathered the last bit of gold while he was in low upkeep. Probably was an inefficient move there. Alright, XiaoKai is looking for the all-in-ish kind of play. He is bringing along his ghouls, or at least most of his ghouls. His Acolyte is not moving one bit. I guess at this point I would maybe unsummon a couple of your buildings and then just expand. Maybe unsummon that Sacrificial Pit and then go expand. Well, I think he can afford a Haunted Gold Mine, but yeah. Well, Tara's gonna lose himself his own shade. Once again, the Sacrificial Pit for Tara has been unsummoned. Yeah, Tara's actually not going to expand. He's just going to unsummon his buildings just to get a bigger army. He's gonna unsummon his graveyard because he's not gonna want any Crypt Fiends, I guess. He wants maybe another destroyer. I think he wants another destroyer. I don't know what he's spending that gold on. Actually, no, wait. He spent his gold on destroyers. That's right. Alright. 66 versus 73. We kind of have an extra destroyer out for XiaoKai, so that's the only difference there. Alright. Sudden deathmatch. I believe XiaoKai wants another destroyer. He is really, really greedy. Crypt is being attacked. That's just reduced resources gained for XiaoKai, but it's not really much of a biggie there. Okay, here we go. Big fight. Abomination already down. I'm surprised no death quarrels was sent out. I actually don't know which side was silenced. Destroyers just covering the air. I don't know why XiaoKai's destroyers are not being webbed. I guess there's just not enough spiders out for Tara, but I think XiaoKai is pretty much going to win this game. Healthstone will be used, but Healthstone's not really going to swing much there. I don't know. How did that Death Knight get over to that side? I don't know. Even the Acolytes are being... Oh, never mind. Wrong Death Knight. That's where it was. Even the Acolytes were getting into that action, and that is going to be game 3. XiaoKai reverse sweeping this. Yep. I will see you guys again in another series, assuming that I do not play Legacy of the Void. Bye bye.